This is how SAP Business One look like. Let me log in to the live system. So when we go to the live system, I hope you can all hear me properly, my voice coming to you properly. So here, this is SAP Business One. In the SAP Business One, we can have out of the box these 16 modules: administration, finance, CRM, opportunity, sales, purchase, business partner, banking, inventory, resource, production, MRP, service, HR, project management, report, and interactive analysis. So, and that is what, and then on the right hand side, you will see that different, aging and of the customers and vendors, top 5 customers, top 5 vendors, top 5 best-selling item, top 5 customers, top 5 purchased item, and then numerous reporting and dashboards and analytics which are available in a standard SAP system out of the box, which we can utilize. And then we will discuss and continue discussing again. So now let's look at some of the functions in SAP Business One. So in SAP Business One, I will go through, this is not a demo. This is an overview of SAP Business One. Some of the demo points, and we will discuss and we'll talk about. So administration. In the administration, we have some of the functions. And here we can have different print preferences. That basically means you can print different documents. You can send email from SAP. You can send a WhatsApp message from SAP. Communication. Then you would like to import and export the data. You want to upload the data from Excel sheet into SAP. You would like to download the data from SAP Business One into Excel sheet. So you can do both. And then another thing which is important for most companies is their ability to do approval templates. That basically means we have a approval of various functions and processes. Approval gives validation. It creates a process control. So various sales document, purchase document, finance document, invoices, purchase orders, sales orders, various inventory documents, various payment documents, various agreements, various inventory counting documents. You can approve. You can do a digital approval. In SAP, there's a mobile app also comes along with it. So using SAP B1 mobile app, we have this is an example of a mobile app. You have activity, approvals, alerts, business partners. And you see that here, if a person who is supposed to do an approval, he's in traveling, he's in market, and then he can approve from here. Or he can decide not to approve and send it back. And then we can do different alerts from here. And you can see all the different dashboards. So that basically means you can have an understanding of your business and connectivity of business in the real time, even if you're not there in the office. And that is what we see here. Approvals. Then we have add-ons. We can have a workflow in SAP. Another thing which is very important in SAP is a alert management. Because reporting is great, but reporting is basically identifying that something is already not working. Alert management. And you can create different kind of alerts in SAP. And then here we have financials. In SAP Financials, what do we have? So SAP Finance allows us, so SAP B1 Finance, SAP B1 Finance has following functions. Because obviously finance is one of the important aspects. So SAP B1 Finance has a financial accounting, Then it has cost accounting. It has a budget accounting. It has asset accounting. It has a bank accounting. It has a reporting. In the reporting, there are two: legal reporting and operational reporting. Okay. In the legal reporting, we can have like a balance sheet and P&L. And then in operational, you can have, your customer balances, vendor balances, GR balances. And so all those different balances we can do. Okay. So that basically means we can have all those functions in SAP Business One. Okay. And this is what we see: creating a chart of account, general entry, general voucher, and then asset accounting. So you can do your entire asset life cycle. A lot of companies have their different machines and equipments and devices and vehicles. So you can do that as well. So asset accounting. Then we have budget accounting, so you can do different budgeting. Then you have a cost accounting. Okay. So you can do cost accounting as well. Cost accounting you can do on the basis of different cost objects like cost center accounting, profit center accounting, budget accounting. Then you have financial report. In the financial report, obviously there are many different types of financial reports. You want to do your aging, your customer aging, your vendor aging. So you can do your aging. So you can do here your agings, your customer aging. You want to do your vendor liability. So you can do your vendor liability. Okay. And then we have here financials, where you can do a balance sheet. So here you want to create a balance sheet. You can have a different level of information. I want to do my P&L. And the another thing important is their localizations. Like for example, in India, you have a GST, invoice, eBay bill. So SAP supports all those taxation. If you're in Nigeria, then you have a different taxations, sale tax, this and that. So if you're in different countries, there are different taxation. SAP supports them, support those localizations. If I want to do, cash flow assessment. So we have our cash flow here, and then we can define the cash flow, and we can manage the cash flow here. And that is where the cash flow come into the picture. I wanted to see the situation of cash flow. I wanted to check, okay, this invoice, and I can plug and play, and I want this to be in the level 1, certainty level 1, certainty level 2, certainty level 3. And then we can have in SAP Business One, there's also inbuilt CRM. So there are 3 phases of customer life cycle: pre-sales, sales, and post-sales. So SAP CRM allow you to do different pre-sales activities, like creating a business partners, activity management. Now, activity management make your system complete. So SAP Business One is not just a transaction system. It is actually a complete system. It includes activities also. Because a lot of senior management and all that, they're not entering some transactions. They're doing different activities. For example, they're doing meetings or tasks or phone call or whatever. And then you can also have a customer visit. And this is for, negotiate the price. You can assign that, okay, this is assigned to whom? And you say, is assigned to this person. Is it related to any customers? So you can create different type of transactions as well. Okay, it's related to this customer. And then you can activate, you create an activity. And now this activity is also linked to your device. It is also linked, this activity, to your calendar. It's also linked to your Microsoft Office. You want to send an email, communicate with your team, assign them tasks, assign them activities, do the meeting. So all those different things you can do in a standard SAP. And then we have campaign generation wizard. You can do campaigns, you can do opportunities management, you can do quotation management, customers sales orders, you can do customer 360 report. There are various CRM report. In SAP Business One, you can also do opportunity management as well, because for a lot of people, opportunity management, pipeline management is very important, depending upon business to business. And then after pre-sales and marketing, the second thing which comes up is the sales. Okay. So second thing which comes up is the sales. Now in the sales, you can have a different functions. So in the sales, you have agreement with the customer, quotation with the customer, sales order with the customer, delivery customer. There's a return request, there's a down payment or advance payment, there's a customer invoice, there's customers for payment, there's a credit memo, reserve invoice, generating document, do a recurring transaction, dunning wizard. Dunning wizard basically means that you want to do automatic reminders of the payment to the customer. That is where the dunning wizard come into the picture. Okay. And then there is also a kept functionality in SAP that is called relationship map. So this is the relationship map. So here in the relationship map, this is an example. So we have a sales quotation number, date and amount. With the quotation, we did sales order, number and date amount. With the sales order, we saw the delivery, number and date amount. We do air invoice, number and date amount. And then air invoice, we did incoming document, date and amount. Then we do return request, and then we did credit memo. And we can see the status. This was the customer invoice. Green light is paid. What the payment document? This was incoming document. So visually, graphically, we can see the status of each of these transactions in SAP. And that is an example. And if I want to do different kind of sales analytics, I want to do different kind of sales report. So that is the sales report. And I want to see by customer, by item, by sales employee. I want to see annual report, monthly report, I want to see quarterly report, and from this date to this date, for this customer to this customer. So various type of reporting and analytics we can do as far as SAP is concerned. And all that is possible in SAP space. That is what sales analytics come into the picture. And then another thing which is important is purchase, in which you can do agreement with the suppliers. You can do purchase request. You can do purchase quotation. You can create a purchase order. You can do good receipt against purchase order. You can do good returns. You can do vendor invoice or AP invoice. You can do credit memo, landed cost. And if you want to see a typical purchasing flow, like how it look like, then we can see a purchasing flow. So here, this is an example of a purchasing flow. Here we have purchase request number, date and amount. With the purchase request, we do quotation, number and date amount. In the quotation, there's a purchase order, date and amount. And for the purchase order, there's a good receipt against purchase order. And then with the good receipt purchase order, you're doing AP invoice. With the AP invoice, we are doing outgoing payment. We can do that as well. And with the outgoing payment, then we have a good returns, and then we have an AP credit memo. This is a typical procurement cycle. You can do different report of purchasing also. So there is a purchase analysis. In the purchase analysis, you can do purchase analysis by vendor, by item, by sales employee. And you want to see your annual report, your monthly report, your quarterly report, and from this date to this date, from this vendor to this vendor. And you can do your entire purchasing analysis by the vendor, by item, by for this item, how much I purchased, and all that sales analytics you can do. Then another thing which is there is the business partners. So in SAP, all business partners are divided into three categories: customers, vendors, and the leads. If you want to see customer, you can see how many customers are there, and then you can check the list of customers. So this is the customer. This is the customer which we have, and this is the customer we can define. And for this customer, for example, if I want to go to drill down, I want to see what the balance for this customer is. I can get invoice-wise invoice detail. I want to see for this customer various kind of graphs, and if you want to download this information, Excel sheet, you can download this information in the Excel sheet and all that as well. And we can define that here as well. And then if you want to go back, and there's a very interesting report that is called Customer 360. If you have a customer, and if that customer is important customer, where you can have a general overview, you can do sales overview, you can do a order fulfillment overview, you can do receivable overview, because sometimes we have a important customer, and because this is an important customer, we want to have a complete and detailed overview of that customer. So for example, here we have a customer called Mexitech, and for that customer Mexitech, you have a total sales amount 3.27 million. Then gross profit 1.7 million. Number of service calls, opportunities, what is revenue versus gross profit. If I want to see the sales number of this customer, so total sales amount year to date is 72,000. Gross profit is 30.89. What is my gross profit margin? Is 50.4. What is my total number of sales quotation, which is open 6. If I want to see the fulfillment, so we are delivering on time delivery rate, fulfillment on same day, we are not delaying the material. The problem is in collection. In SAP, there is a credit management also. And with the credit management, we can also see the total receivable amount. So for this customer, the receivable amount is 1.65 million. And the receivable overdue is 6.5 million. So although we're getting orders, we're delivering on time, but the customer is not paying us. There's a whatever is amount payable, 1.65 million, the entire amount is overdue. Okay. There's a whole banking. So there's whole bank accounting. So there's a financial accounting, cost accounting, budget accounting, asset accounting, balance sheet, trial balance, taxation, GST, invoice wise, sales tax, banking. In the banking, you can do incoming payment. SAP support multiple payment methods by check, by bank transfer. You can integrate SAP with the bank. You can also integrate with the credit card. You can do incoming payment, deposits, outgoing payment, payment wizard, bank statement, check number, documents. Now, another very important module for a lot of people is inventory. In the inventory, we have a various inventory master data. So first and foremost, we can create item master. You can create any kind of item. It could be finished good, it could be raw material, it could be maintenance item, it could be service item, it could be packaging item. Any kind of item you want to do, you can create. SAP allows you to manage and maintain any kind of item as you want, any group of item. It could be raw material, maintenance item, service item, repair item, packaging item, any kind of item you have, you can create that item. In SAP, you can also do barcode. A lot of people who want to print barcode, a lot of people who want to print QR code. So you can do barcode, QR code from SAP as well. You can do scanning as well. You want to scan your products, the material comes in, you have a barcode, scan it. You can print any document. You can also do bin management. So in SAP, you can do obviously inventory management, and you can also do warehouse management. You can also do bin management. So for example, you have this warehouse and you can have many warehouses. You can define how many aisles, how many shelves, how many labels, and then you can see that what is going on in this aisle, what is going on in this shelf, what is going on in this label. And then you can define here. So bin management, warehouse management, and the bin location management. You can define item management also. If your product is serialized, so you can do serialization. You can do batch numbering. You can do alternative item. You can create a business partner catalog. You can create a global update to the business partner. You can do inventory valuation. And you can evaluate your inventory by different parameters. You can evaluate inventory by moving average price, standard price, FIFO, serial, and batch number. Inventory valuation. Then we have other transactions. inventory transactions. All inventory transactions anywhere in the world are divided into 4 categories. Goods receipt, inbound. Goods issue, outbound. Inventory transfer from one location to another location, from one place to another place. You can define recurring transactions. You can define inventory counting, cycle counting, inventory valuation, inventory revaluation. So all different transactions of inventory you can do. Then you can maintain different kind of price lists. So there's a price list, there's a period discount, there's a volume discount. There are different other transactions which you can do. And you can maintain all those different transactions and functions. So you can do that as well in SAP space. And then we have other functions also. Picking and packing. So you want to do pick and pack management. You can do different inventory reports. There are numerous inventory reports. You want to do your inventory in the warehouse. I want to see the status that, okay, what is my inventory situation look like? You can do different inventory reports. And that is another thing which you can do as far as SAP is concerned. Inventory in the warehouse. Then we have a resource module. Resources. So in SAP, you can define item master data. You can also define resource master data. You can have a different type of resources in SAP, especially for the production. I have a cutting machine, I have a grinding machine, I have different machines. Now, why do we need master data for these? So we can have a cutting, and then here we can have a different type of resources. And then here we can define different type of data. We can do capacity planning. So how much of each resource is actually busy? So you can do the entire resource planning in SAP. These are the 5 dimensions of capacity planning, which is very important from the perspective of capacity planning and production scheduling. Okay. There's a whole production module. So we want to do production. And in the production, we want to see different functions related to production. And the production, we have a bill of material. We can define bill of material. That's one of the functions which is there in SAP. Bill of material. Then we can define production order, confirmation of production order, receive from production, issue to production, updating period plus, production cost calculation, bill of material, standard cost calculation, production order configuration. So all those different functions and transactions you can do as far as SAP is concerned. And entire manufacturing cycle, production cycle, you can maintain in SAP. And that is what you can do as far as SAP is concerned. So we have a production order. This is the date, receive production, issue from production, and then you can do entire production cycle. As I mentioned, this is not a demo, and we can do a detailed demo of each of the functions as well. Then there's MRP. MRP basically means material requirement planning. So we can do material requirement planning. We can do forecasting. We can do MRP wizard. And with that, we can do order recommendations. So that you can do forecasting, because when you're doing manufacturing, you might have a different type of forecasting. So you can do both. So you can do both. So SAP allows you to planning and also allow you to do forecasting as well. You can do reorder label, reorder point, safety stock. Then you have a service. You want to maintain different types of services. Service call, equipment, service contracts. Because you do pre-sales, you do sales, you do service. You can do human resources. So you have a human resource. And then in the human resource, we have project management. Because a lot of companies work based upon project. So entire project management, project planning, project costing you can do. And then there are obviously reports for finance and CRM and sales and purchase and business partner, banking, inventory, production, MRP, and service. All the different modules, it has a service.